Yeah, can you hear me now? Sorry, I
I can, yeah.
have my thing hooked
Sorry,
up to
my
like
phone's
this headset.
my phone's pretty quiet.
Sorry, I was on a now. Can you hear me?
It's cutting in and out, but I can hear you pretty well.
Yeah, I think I just got to go to a different room. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. Yeah, so I didn't get a chance to listen to your voicemail. I just saw the text come through.
Oh, and I don't think I did leave a voicemail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you're like me, I don't check my voicemails near as often as I check a text message that comes in.
Yeah.
So anyways, no, so I had forwarded that email was forwarded to me, and I don't have that in front of me, but pretty much you're still concerned about the concrete and wondering if I had talked to anybody that does concrete repair.
Yeah.
So that wasn't anything that I had mentioned as far as like having somebody repair it or even getting quotes for somebody to repair it. I did talk about, helping you out by getting you some like concrete patch, which honestly I'd completely forgotten about. So worried about getting that rock out of there, even though that took longer. That was what I was kind of on top of my mind. But no, I hadn't ever talked about anybody actually, repairing it, because that wouldn't be something that we would do.
Okay. So a concrete patch is, I'm not familiar with that.
So it's just like, it's like a concrete patch, like, I don't know the best way to explain it. It's just like, usually it comes in a bucket or bag, you get it wet, pretty much laid in like mud almost, right? Like that's basically what concrete is anyways, right? It's like mud when it dries and it gets hard.
Yeah, I don't think it's an ideal fix. I would probably want to talk to one of the concrete people that I got a quote from to see if that is a kind of like reasonable repair type situation.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd probably...
So I guess really to back it up here, and I could go over our notes and make sure I hadn't like misinformed you or said something wrong, but I do remember, because I was actually just telling my wife I was needing to call you because I got home like, oh, I need to call this Russell. He's, concerned about his delivery still. And she's like, he knows that like if concrete cracks, like it's not our fault, right? Like we can't control the quality of someone's install in concrete. And ultimately that's why we have to have like a we do not fix it policy, because if not, it could put us out of business if people were making us repair their driveways that crack.
Yeah, I understand that, but this isn't really a crack. This is like a 1-inch like fracture of the slab, because the truck that was brought in way like over the load capacity. Like it came in with an excess of delivery from like what I had ordered, and it was just like a massive heavy.
Yeah, but you
truck.
had never told us that your concrete was limited and not able to take any certain type of trucks. We deliver by dump trucks all day long. And that's what your order said. It was a dump truck delivery. It didn't say 5,000, 10,000 pound capacity, because we deliver with whatever truck's available to ship, and we ship small loads with big trucks all day long.
Yeah, I think something that I didn't mention before then is that I ordered like 1 cubic yard thinking that it would arrive in that very small kind of tiny dump truck when I had ordered that essentially delivered the load when I ordered 3 cubic yards. So I was thinking if anything, it would come in that size truck or smaller.
Okay. And which, if that's what we had available and that's what it was, like that's what we do. But
I mean, I also have like from the images, you can see that like half of the tire is on the concrete and half is kind of like on the ground that's next to it.
And the concrete should still not fail if it had proper foundation under it.
Or if the truck was just too heavy. Like as far as I know, I have a 4-inch slab of concrete. It's on a flat level surface. There shouldn't be any erosion under the slab. I mean,
but
I feel
why did it crack? Because it really shouldn't have cracked.
Because the truck was too heavy, that's why. That's what I think. I mean, I think what this is coming down to, I know you have said that you do not want to like repair this damage. I mean, yeah, you are fine to say that, but I think my next course is just to go to small claims court, present all the evidence, and then have someone else make a determination.
Yeah. I mean, if it saved us the trouble and there was a dollar amount that I felt was reasonable to save us from the time of going and fighting in court, like, I'd be willing to consider that. But at the same time,
I think it would be.
I'm sure you kind of see where I'm coming from. I'm not just trying to brush you off, but at the same time, I'm not just, anybody's concrete cracked because we delivered it. We'll replace your concrete. That's just not.
This is not a crack.
If you called up
inch.
any of the rock companies, none of them would take responsibility for it. Nobody would. And I would use that in court too. Staker Parsons, Asphalt Materials, Rock and Yard, Rock Skates. Like, you call any of these people, none of them would take responsibility and fix your driveway.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of go out of the way to repair any damage that occurred. I don't think any business admit fault.
Oh, sorry, hold on. It might be my phone. Let me move around a little bit. Sorry, what was that?
I was just saying how I wouldn't expect like any business to admit fault and they would have to pay for any damage.
You're saying you wouldn't expect any business to admit fault? Is that what you're saying? Sorry, it broke up a little bit.
I was saying I would not expect a business to admit fault when it means that they would have to like repair any damage.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just, I mean, you can even go to everybody's website like ours, anybody else's. It's like, hey, if we're making a delivery onto your property, it is at your own risk. Like, we don't know even if we sent the most perfect truck or most whatever, like, we don't know if there could be damage from us pulling onto the property.
Well, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, I did pay a delivery fee. You guys just wanted to do 2 deliveries with 1 load. Like,
he had left over from a previous delivery.
Correct, yeah. So, I think that's probably where I will leave it. Kind of looking into some of my options, but it kind of sounds like we're not going to agree on what a course of action should be. So I think that is probably just what I'll do.
If you want to get back to me with what you feel like we could potentially do to help out the situation without having to go to court. But if I had to go to court, like, I totally get that's what you have to do.
Yeah, I think what would be acceptable is just repair to that damage. And I think whatever amount that would be. I only have that one quote that's written. I'm hoping to have a few more come out that may be more reasonable in price. Yeah, I think I'm just hoping to get more than a few that would come out and look, assess, and maybe give a couple different breakdowns on repair options. And I can definitely still email you those quotes, have them take notes and pictures and anything like that, and send any information like that along.
Okay. And Russ, I hope you realize, like, I'm not trying to make it seem like I don't. Hold on. I'm hoping to come across as like I do care, but at the same time, usually if someone drives away cracked, like, oh shoot, we should have just had it dumped on the road and wheelbarrowed it, right? Like, that's usually the response that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I'm sorry that it is here, and clearly me wanting to take the time to work with you the best way possible that's reasonable from our end, and also what I would feel like is an industry standard of how to handle the situation. You're acknowledging, but at the same time, like, I get it. I get the frustrations. I have cracked concrete myself. I have a part, I don't know how much I told you about my driveway, but when they did it, I had a good pour and a bad pour. And to have us fix it from the original install would be over $30,000 because we have a pretty big driveway. And I know just even a small patch like that for you would probably be pretty expensive.
Yeah, potentially.
So,
depending on.
Anyways, yeah, shoot me an email. I mean, clearly I'm willing to keep communicating and try to, the business owner, to make sure that we are trying to. And I would say that's the thing is, like my wife said, like we weren't neglectful and everything. We just made the delivery as it said on, for what we had basically had on our schedule, right? Like there weren't any special instructions. Like sometimes people have crossways and they say, hey, we can only take 10,000 pounds because we have a little bridge that goes across a canal. Like sometimes we're aware of people's conditions, but in this case here, it was just like any other delivery. The driver had done multiple already that day, but your concrete cracked.
Yeah. And I mean, the one reason I didn't think that would even be an issue, requesting a certain truck or anything like that, is because on a previous order where I had ordered more than like what I had for this most recent one, it was just sent in a tiny truck. Okay? Yeah.
Yeah, no, so I get that. And, same thing, like we're getting a new washer and dryer finally, after 12 years, I buckled down and buying a new washer and dryer. And if they delivered in a small truck to back of our driveway, then the next time they show up in a big semi truck or whatever, like I'd be like, oh, like, why don't you guys do a smaller truck? I only ordered one washer, but, they're utilizing whatever truck's probably best for the routes. And that's typically what any shipping company is going to do.
Yeah, so I definitely want to get more people, like at least 2 more concrete quote people to come out and take a look at the driveway, and I will definitely forward either like a quote or even like notes, and I can ask them to kind of include more detailed, I guess, notes than they would maybe normally in quoting someone for a job, just so you have some transparency into what they're kind of looking at.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been hard getting people to come out and take a look at it, so it may be I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks before I get any. But I will.
And really, can I tell you probably the best thing would be, so that way if you feel like you do need to take us to court and dispute it there, like if you wanted to basically say, hey, Tyler, I know you feel that you're not responsible for this, but I feel you are, and to save us the trouble of going to court, I'm willing to, settle on X amount of dollars or whatever, right? Because honestly, I really don't care what the quotes say from any concrete company. That just isn't anything that's applicable for us right now. But, they could come and say it's $100. They could come and say it's $10,000. But really that's not applicable because ultimately, at the end of the day, we're not paying for the driveway to be repaired unless you actually feel like we are required to. Then I'll dispute that in court.
Okay. I think then have.
But I'm willing to receive and respond to your messages because honestly, I don't want to have to go to court. My time's money, and it is what it is as far as that goes. And maybe there's a chance we'd win, maybe there's a chance we'd lose. But you do what you feel is best. If you want to at least message me, if you want to try to negotiate something to save us from having to go to court, you can definitely do that.
Okay. Cool. Well, I appreciate kind of the time after hours to give me a call back.
Yeah, and sorry if I seem a little flabbergasted. This is just something that I don't ever want to have to be dealing with, and we try to make every effort to make sure customers know that, this isn't our responsibility to fix their property while we're making a delivery, unless the driver is completely, neglectful and, his brakes don't work and he crashes into the garage or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, shoot me a text or email, and I will try to respond if there's something I can respond to as quick as I can.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Russell. Bye.
Bye.